Hello everyone, in this video we'll be configuring a site-to-site VPN using WireGuard between two MikroTik routers. Before jumping into the configuration, let's take a look at the network diagram to better understand how the two sites will be connected via WireGuard VPN. Let's assume that both sites already have fully configured and stable local networks. Here, I'm connected to both MikroTik routers using two separate windows. The left window is Site 1, and the right window is Site 2. Also, I recommend preparing a file like this in advance to keep track of the key details for the setup. Just a quick note. To make things easier to follow, I'll be switching back and forth between the two MikroTik routers during the setup. Alright. Let's start by configuring Site 1. The first step is to create a WireGuard interface on the MikroTik router. We'll keep the default connection port that MikroTik has set up. Finally, click Apply to save and apply the configuration. After clicking Apply, MikroTik will automatically generate a pair of keys, the private key and public key. Now we'll move on to Site 2 and configure it in the same way as Site 1. Just like we did on Site 1, after creating the WireGuard interface here, we'll copy the public key from Site 2. We'll need it later when finishing the setup back on Site 1. Now that we have the public key from Site 2, let's go back to Site 1 and create a new peer. This tells MikroTik who it should connect to, in this case, the router at Site 2. In the Interface field, select the WireGuard interface you created on Site 1 in Step 2. Next, in the Public Key field, paste the public key from Site 2 that we copied earlier. Next, in the Endpoint field, enter the WAN IP address of Site 2. This is the public IP that Site 1 will connect to. Next, Endpoint port. Enter the WireGuard port of Site 2, for example 13,231, which is the default. In the Allowed Address field, you define which IP ranges this peer is allowed to communicate with. Finally, click Apply and OK to save and apply the configuration. Next, we'll move to Site 2 and configure the peer in the same way as we did on Site 1. In the allowed address field, enter 0.0.0.0/0 to allow all traffic. Finally, click Apply and OK to apply the configuration. Next, we'll assign the tunnel IP address on Site 1's WireGuard interface. In the interface field, select the WireGuard interface you created earlier. Finally, click Apply and OK to apply the configuration. Next, let's switch to Site 2 and assign a tunnel IP to its WireGuard interface. Next, we'll add a static route on Site 1 to direct traffic destined for Site 2's LAN through the WireGuard tunnel. In the address field, enter the LAN subnet of Site 2. In the gateway field, enter the tunnel IP of Site 2. For Check Gateway, select Ping. Finally, click Apply to save the route configuration. Now we'll switch to Site 2 and add a static route, similar to what we did on Site 1. Enter the LAN subnet of Site 1. Enter the tunnel IP of Site 1. Alright, we've successfully set up a Site-to-Site VPN using WireGuard between two MikroTik routers. At this point, clients at both sites should be able to communicate securely through the VPN tunnel. Let's now switch to the client devices at each site and run a quick ping test to verify the connection. First, I'll open CMD on a client device at Site 1. Then, I'll run the command ipconfig to check the current IP address, making sure this device belongs to Site 1's LAN. Next, I'll try to ping the gateway IP MikroTik router at Site 2. Now I'll try to ping a specific device in the Site 2 LAN. Now that Site 1 can successfully connect to Site 2, let's verify the reverse, checking connectivity from Site 2 to Site 1. And that's it. We've successfully configured a WireGuard Site-to-Site VPN between two MikroTik routers. Now the devices across both sites can communicate securely and seamlessly over the VPN tunnel, just like being on the same LAN. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.